Good afternoon, everyone. Let us continue the third unit. Two more topics. The topic name it is what called as a data integrity and data quality. Okay, I'll just share the screen. Yes, the data integrity and the data quality will come in what actually the data quality is here. Why data quality is required. So let us begin first of all what the data quality is and why the data quality is required. uh, we will be having a lot of data. Some people or in some databases, this what data will be available. Data is there, but is not active, or it is not getting updated, or it is not getting deleted, or it is not getting inserted here. Okay, so what happens? Uh, uh, Again, what examples will be like? One student or one of the person is telling the kind of mobile number and it is being changed, but it is not yet updated here. Some of the employees are were working in the company, and after few days or few years they left after getting the opportunity. But what happens, their respective email id is still active. So that purpose you are supposed to make it as inactive. To make that, you are supposed to understand what data quality is there and why data quality is required. So before beginning with the data quality here, we are supposed to learn the two things here. Two definitions are there: the definition for the data integrity and the definition for the data quality, which is very easy. Again, data is there. Data is available. Only we are supposed to understand what integrity refers and what is quality here. Okay. So let us begin with the definition of data integrity here. It reflects the degree to which the attributes of data associated with a certain entity accurately describe the occurrence of that entity here. Means what the degree to which attributes here. For the table or for the entity, we will be having the columns or the attributes here. So those attributes, whatever there in the attributes here, are the values of that respective entity available or no here. What I have said the phone number here, and I'm telling after few days some other phone number. So that should get matched here. Integration should be there here. Okay. Then coming to the next point, what example of the data integrity here? It is like a primary key, foreign key, not null, check constraint. In your entity or in your table, if you have provided the attribute or the column as a primary key, make sure to enter the some value there. Don't leave it empty. And another thing that it should not be repeated here. It should be always unique here. Coming to the next example, which is called as a foreign key, understand that what exactly the foreign key here, you people are going to refer to other table. So when you are referring for the other table, make sure that the data or the value is being available in that table, then fetch it. If the data is not available for the referred table, you cannot enter that respective value when you are saying the foreign key here. Okay. So they have said that column designated as a foreign key column means it can only have the values that are present in the primary key column of the same or different table that it refers to here. A foreign key column can have null or duplicate value. You can repeat as many times as you want to insert that value when your column is foreign key. But you cannot repeat the value when your column is called as a foreign key. And that's what the reason they will tell that unique or not null. Okay. Coming to the next point, not null. When you create the table and you will say for the attribute or column as a not null, you are supposed to make sure it is not primary key, it is not foreign key. But for that column or for attribute, you have to add some value. If you don't add the value, it will immediately give us error that cannot leave the empty here. They have said that a not null constraint on the column means that the column must be given a value. Some value should be there here. It cannot have a null value or a missing or unknown value here. A space or zero or carriage written on line feed is not a null. If you are not interested to give the value, you cannot give the zero, you cannot give the space, or you cannot give the underline. Some value compulsory should be there. So make sure before creating the table, understand that whether the respective column is required to add the value or it is option here. Okay. And the last one, it is what check constraint. A check constraint always allows the imposing a business rule on a column or a collection of column here. What happens? Check means what? Now, for example, it is what voting ID here. Voting ID. To create a voting ID, everyone's age should be above 18 here. So when you are going to enter the age value in your respective entity or the table, then that age you are supposed to have this what condition here. Check consent. You should make sure that when you are entering the age here, it should be above 18. If then it will check the condition. If it is below 18, immediately the error will prompt or notification will come that you cannot insert this value as age should be within a specific range here. Okay. Um, so this is what the integrity here, like together value should be there. What conditions you have applied, that condition should be followed. Then coming to the next point, what the data quality is. What is data quality? Uh, we purchase any kind of a product, normal, online or visit the shop. Then you take the products here. We always talk about the quality. Quality ahe ka, you will say here. It will long last a what? Quality should be there. Quality matters, you will say here. So same way for the data also, we have to say the quality. How long the data will retain. If you make a changes, it will accept a what. If you delete the data, it will delete a what here. So that way, it is measured with a reference to appropriateness, appropriate data it is there for the purpose as defined by the business users of data and conformance to enterprise data here. What the data is there in the enterprise or the organization, that data should be there, is local to the domain of the database technology. All the data should be there. Whatever you add the data, it should be applicable for the technology or it should be useful for that here. Anyhow, you cannot enter the data. Some meaning should be there. It is not linear. Then after that, dimensions such as accuracy, like characteristics. Now, in the examination, the question will be arise for explain the characteristics of data qualities here, or explain the dimensions of the data quality here. So what are those dimensions here? Accuracy or correctness, completeness, consistency, timeliness, and metadata here. So one by one, I will tell you what these are the characteristics here. First one, it is what correctness here. The first one, it is what correctness is available or accuracy here. What accuracy or what correctness here? Accuracy of a data is a degree to which the captured data correctly reflects or describes a real world entity, object or an event here. Whatever the data you are about to enter in the table or in the entity here, that should be of specific described attribute. If you have described the attribute as an integer, you are supposed to enter in the integer value. If you have described the attribute as a varchar, you have to enter the alphanumeric here. It should be relatable to the specific column here. So that's what they have said, that accuracy or correctness. Correct value should be there. Example, it is what the address of the customer is maintained in the customer database in the real address. If you are having a customer table of same customers here, you are not supposed to update only in one table where the customer is there. If that customer is getting referred to other table, there also the value should be updated here. Correct should be there. Another thing, it is what example, the bank balance in the customer's account is the real value. If I debit today some amount, it should be deducted. If I have credited, it should be credited here. Some insertion should be there. They have said that the bank balance in the customer's account is the real value customer deserves from the bank here. Okay. Then again, the age of the patient as maintained in the hospital's database is the real age here. What date of birth or age you have mentioned, it should be a correct or accurate age. Then coming to the next dimension or the characteristics is what completeness here. Data you enter or you update or you delete, it should be complete. Okay. Uh, Completeness is what the completeness of data is the extent to which expected attributes of data are provided here. Data of all the student, example data of all the students of university are available. All the data should be there. You cannot leave any empty, you cannot leave the column empty here. If PAN card is there, you are supposed to put the PAN card value. Aadhaar card value, if they are asking, you have to enter the Aadhaar card value. The data of all patients of a hospital are available, of all the patients. You cannot say that yesterday patients they had visited, we have not entered. No, all the data should be available in the database up to date. Okay. Then all the data of the clients of an IT organization is available here. Okay. One more example is there for the completeness here. Just listen. Let us look at a case where all the students is not available yet is considered completed. Like some of the students are not available, but we are saying completed. How? How it is? Example, in the feedback form of a restaurant, a customer provides his postal address. Mandatory requires they will give some feedback from you are supposed to provide the postal address. So that is a compulsory mandatory, but does not mention his email address or his telephone number. Optional requirement. Optional it is what? Phone number or email. That is the option. Can this data still be taken as a complete? Yes. Why? You have set a postal address as a mandatory and you are saying the email and this what telephone number as an option. So this data can be complete here. The answer is yes, subjected to the fact if it still meets the expectations of the user. In our example, the restaurant manager. Another question it is what? Can the data be complete but inaccurate? Can the data be complete but inaccurate? The answer is yes. In our example, the customer did provide a postal address. So the data is complete because it meets the expectations of the restaurant staff here. But the customer could have provided an incorrect address, a typical case of complete yet inaccurate. He has provided the address, but the address is not perfect. So that will become completeness characteristic is done, accurate is not. Okay. And then after that, consistency. The consistency is what this is about the single version of truth here. Everyone should be updated of the same information. As we had taken the example, single version of truth, this was Wipro campus interview, whether the interview has started or where the BCA lab is located. So everyone has to give the answers here. Another example we had discussed for the restaurant here, calling for the restaurant till we enter the restaurant here, whether the tables are available or what, or whether the food is available or what. Here. So according to this, this is about the single version of the truth. Consistency means data throughout the enterprise should be in synchronized with each other. Like everyone should be aware with each other, the data should be updated here. Let us look a few examples of inconsistent data here. A customer has cancelled and surrendered his credit card, yet the credit card billing status still reads the due. He has purchased, he has cancelled, or he has stopped using it, and while stopping he has mentioned that I'm not going to use, like it is being surrendered here. But still the balance or the notification specifies that due. So this is what not consistency here. Again example, an employee has left the organization yet his email address is still active. Consistency should be there. No? If employee leave the company or organization, whatever the his is what dues are there or anything is left out, it should be completely inactive here. Another example here, consider a financial organization here, Easy Finance. One of the financial organization is there where the name is what? Easy Finance. This organization has several departments, n number of departments are available. Then there are the departments that works in silos and there are departments that work in tandem. Okay, many people are there. A customer comes over to deposit a check to his account. The check is allocated by the check collection department, wherever the check collection is going on, being collected by that department here. The status of the check is designated as clear. It is being cleared in that department. But however, the money is yet to be credited to the account. It is being given, it is being cleared, but money has to be credited. No, so that way credited. The reason being only after the transactions are closed for the day, the process will begin. For this brief time, the data is inconsistent here. Like time will be there for the bank purpose till 4 o'clock the cash hours will be there. After 4 o'clock they will accept the check, but it will not get credited in your bank account. So this is what inconsistency. Consistency will become the moment you give the check and balance is getting increased or credited, that time it will become what consistency. Okay. And then last one, it is what timeline measure. What is the timeline measure? Uh, Timeliness of data is extremely crucial. Updated data should be always available. Right data to the right person at the right time is important for business here. Right data should be there for the right person at the right time here. Okay. Delayed supply of data could provide detrimental to the business here. Like delay of the data or data is not available at the appropriate time. It will become a lost business here, no matter how important the data is, but it should be always updated. If it is not supplied at the right time, it becomes inconsequential and useless here. For example, many things are there. The airlines are required to provide the most recent information to their passengers here. If one of the flight is being delayed, immediately they have to inform to all the passengers. It is not only for the few passengers here. For everyone, it should be updated. There can be no delay in the publishing of the quarterly results of an enterprise. Updated should be there, timely should be there. The results cannot be announced the next year here. Cannot say that I will give next year. An example where the data is not timely here. The population census results are published 2 years after the census survey is completed. That is not the time. So this is about your dimensions such as accuracy, correctness, and completeness and timeless. One more thing is available. One more characteristics or dimension is there, which is called as a metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is nothing but the data of data here. To quote a few examples, if we consider relational database, if we think about the relational database, tables definitions like entity definitions along with the attributes definitions, that can be specify the attributes or column no, with the help of data type and what will be the length here. Constraint description business rules constitute metadata. Here we have created the table, and for that table we are providing the columns also, and for that column name we are giving some column type and length. Then afterwards we are putting value. So what is happening? This is happening as a data of data here. So this is also one of the this what characteristics of dimension of the data quality. So we have 5 dimensions or characteristics, that is accuracy or correctness, completeness, consistency, and timeliness and metadata. They have given one of the quote for you people. A man with one watch knows what time it is yet. A man with two watches is never sure what exactly time is it. I will repeat. A man with one watch knows what time it is. A man with two watches is never sure. If he is having the two watches, not sure whether this watch is correct or that watch is correct. Okay, so it should be perfect, right time to the right person, and the right information should be there. So this was about your data quality here. One more topic is being left. How do we maintain the data quality? That will shall conclude for the next video. Then have a look till then for the data integrity and data quality. Till then, thank you. Any doubts are there, you can let me know.